But I'll just go ahead and get started. So when I was growing up, one of my favorite things to do at school was, get that book order form from Scholastic, where you just pick out all these new books you want to read. I know Goosebumps was huge in my school. Say Cheese and Die was like my favorite book. And kids back then, they loved to read. And as they grow older, the reading starts to drop off a little bit. When you ask a kid, why don't you read more books? What's stopping you from reading more nowadays? And one of the top reasons that they tell you is they'd rather be doing other things. And it's no surprise. I mean, with school and homework and sports and video games, there's so many different things trying to grab a kid's attention that it's taking away from their time to be able to read. Along with that, kids are growing up in this digitally connected world where they can always interact with their friends and socialize with their friends. They can jump on Facebook and chat. They've got Nintendo DS where they can connect and play with games with each other without being in the same room. So there's really a lot of reasons why kids are distracted. And some companies have noticed this. They've noticed that kids are growing up in this social world, in this technological world, and they're taking advantage of that. You can see two huge games, Farmville and Club Penguin, just exploded because they're using some of these social gaming techniques to kind of keep people engaged in these different worlds. And so, with PocketTales, we're like, okay, kids love to read. Fundamentally, you grew up just loving getting into books. And more they're becoming more digitally technology savvy. And they like to play these online games. So there's got to be a way to bridge this gap. And that's what PocketTales is trying to do. We're trying to change the reading experience for kids. So if you think about it, you buy an HD TV to experience sports, but the HD TV gives you a new way to consume sports, right? Same with like the Amazon Kindle. It doesn't really change the book at all. It just changes the way you consume the book. But what really changed the game is fantasy leagues. They really changed the way you experience sports. And that's what we're trying to do at PocketTales. We're trying to change the way kids experience books. So PocketTales is an online social reading game for kids 7 to 12 years old. And really what we're trying to do is just use game mechanics to encourage kids to read more books and engage more. And kids inherently love to play games. Games are fun. And that's what PocketTales is. It's a game. But underneath the surface, kids are really involved in this community of engaged readers. And we're trying to help them become higher order thinkers. And so, how are we doing that with PocketTales? First thing the kid comes, they come online to our site, they create a profile. And the first thing they do is they choose an avatar. So we've got this travel theme throughout the whole website. So the second thing they do is they add friends. So I want to connect with my friends immediately. And when you add friends, you're earning points. The next thing you do is you read a book, and you take a quiz on the book. And when you pass the quiz, not only do you earn points, but passing the quiz unlocks additional activities that they can do on the site. So, story telephones is one, where you start a story, then you pass it on to your friend, and he'd add a little bit to the story, then so on and so forth, and eventually get back to you. You can see what your friends have written, kind of teaching kids to be creative thinkers and writers, and also engage with their friends a little bit more. There's other activities like scavenger hunts where kids are looking through the book to find certain things in the book, or story webs to help them identify themes and motifs in the book. And when they're completing these activities, they're also getting points. The next thing they do is rate, review, and recommend books to their friends. So, one of the other top 3 reasons kids don't read more is because they can't find books that they like. And so, with all these kids rating, reviewing, and recommending books to their friends, PocketTales becomes an extremely efficient recommendation engine for kids to find new books that they like to read. And again, they're earning points for this, so they're incentivized to rate, review, and recommend books to their friends. And as they're earning these points and leveling up, they're earning digital badges. So we've been compared as the Foursquare of reading. And this is really where the similarity lies. We're giving kids these digital badges as they level up. And with all these points and all these levels that they're achieving, they can then customize their treehouse. Again, the travel theme. They can win bracelets and purchase different animals and all that sort of stuff. So, where's PocketTales been? We recently got back from Texas. We we made it into the Microsoft Business Market Accelerator pitch competition at South by Southwest. Huge interactive conference. It's really 3 concurrent festivals going on. It's kind of known for launching the next biggest thing in tech. Foursquare launched there, Twitter launched there. So we were fortunate to go pitch there. Didn't win, made it to the top 3, but it was still a lot of fun. And then we recently got a small investment from a startup accelerator incubator called Startup, which partners with Dream Inventions. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Y Combinator or Sproutbox. Same vein of company, where they give you a little bit of money, like ramen. That's about it. And they work you 24 hours a day for 3 months, and they try and get your products to market success. And so we've got an alpha built right now, and we're slowly starting to test that. Now our team is pretty stellar. Brendan Nazi, heard his name mentioned here before. He's my co-founder. Worked at Cantaloupe TV as the director of marketing. He and I were both in a program called the Or Entrepreneurial Fellowship, so that's how we met. I worked for City Securities Investment Bank downtown in their merger and acquisition advisory group. Then we've got Amma, who's our graphic designer. She's done all the designs for this presentation as well. And then our all-star heart and soul development team, expected behavior. Those guys are awesome. They've done some work for a lot of companies. One of them Apple, just all-star developers. And then we've got Sproutbox. You guys are familiar with Sproutbox. They're on our advisory board right now. So that's PocketTales. We're trying to change the way kids experience books.